there's that black Caliburn KOKO Prime, right? We talked about it in my comment section last week, and I just wanted you guys to check it out. I love it, and I got this one, right? Anyway, you're probably wondering, how are these things holding up? Holding up pretty good. Overall, I've got nothing to complain about uh, when it comes to the KOKO Prime. When it comes to Caliburn, I've got doors opening everywhere. I know my 21-year-old daughter just called and I ignored her because I was all set up for this video. So she's probably gonna end up, I don't know, knocking on the door. The dog's gonna start barking. You name it. But we'll see if I can get through this. Overall, the performance on this 1 ohm coil has been unbelievable. We've got over a week on the coil, and just as airy, just as dense of a cloud as I had when I initially reviewed this. Flavor's still there. You know, like I said, it's an A+. It's a winner. There's really not much to complain about it. And the 1 ohm coil does have a noticeable extending of the battery that comes into play when you use it. So the fact that you may switch over to the 1 ohm coils, you're not going to be losing anything in taste. It's actually going to probably be a little bit better in taste. You may lose a little bit of, the actual vapor production, right? And obviously, you're not going to be taking as much nicotine, okay, as if you're using the regular Caliburn G coils. But nothing to complain about. Nothing to complain about. No burnt hits. The condensation in this coil is very limited. Very, very limited. There's not much. At some point, I do have to do a video on condensation and leaks, right? I've taken some pictures of leaks, right? And I've also taken pictures of condensation, right? So far, this KOKO Prime 1 ohm coil is not leaking. It's not, there's no condensation or very, very little condensation. It's lasted over a week. So you really can't ask for more than that. Anything more is going to be extra credit, right? Very sweet juices, high nic, you know, 50-50 juices of, yeah, I mean, I'm just looking for them. I thought I had some around that I was specifically using in here. I don't, but like I've told you guys before, I've got like Purple Bomb, just found Propaganda Blue Frost, Great Blue Raspberry, EJUICE. Totally recommend using that. And yeah, there's been zero issues at all with it. The only thing about the KOKO Prime that I wish would be resolved is finally having a bigger battery. I mean, none of these Caliburn devices have been able to last an entire day. You either need two devices or you just gotta let it go and let it charge. That could be hell if you're a smoker, right? So just a thought there for you. Um, the other crappy thing is like when it is plugged in, it's not a pass through. So it charges and shuts the device off. So you can't like vape it while it's plugged in. I'm a car vapor, like I'll just chain vape my entire drive to work, my entire drive home. I'll go outside, at night and just sit in my car, puff, 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 all of that, right? Um, really, really, really wish this had that. With that said, how are the zero point 0.8 coils working in the Caliburn G? Really well. Or I'm sorry, in the KOKO Prime. When I said that to a commenter that these things handle like a dream, they absolutely do. Um, I'm trying to produce more vapor by leaving it in the direct to lung setting, right? Just to show you. But as you see, and this is, so the Caliburn G is unregulated. I'm assuming that the KOKO Prime is unregulated, but as you see, when I puff on this, it's going to be a blue light. You certainly couldn't tell by the taste that it's producing, by the vapor that it's producing. Um, so again, no burnt hits, no problem with the high nic, uh, like the high nic salt. In fact, I feel like I've been using the 0.8 coils more than uh, than the 1 ohm coils, but I've also had a lot of like sort of stress with the babies coming soon. He's already 7 pounds 2 ounces. Just had an ultrasound yesterday, and he's not supposed to be due until Christmas Eve. Um, so it's gonna be a giant kid, or most likely he's coming pretty soon. Um, so I've been stressed. I've been distracted. I've been trying to get all of my like work done, like with my classes and stuff, all the grading, the commenting, all of that. Um, and so I've been craving cigarettes and haven't broken. Um, you know, I'm here using these and they're doing the job. They're doing the job, right? And if this is your first time here and you're still watching this and you didn't get sick of me just rambling, uh, I was a 2.5 pack a day smoker, and these Caliburn KOKO Primes are great. Um, I did mention that in my Vupu review with the coil checkup. I'm using this one too, but it's mostly just for the fact that I do like a different vaping style every now and then. It's kind of like vaping ADHD or whatever. Um, I like to change flavors a lot. I like to, change up the vapor production. And, these two devices seriously are best of the year, best ones I own. Fantastic. Um, so can't give much more than just say that, you should really purchase this if you're struggling. If you're looking for a device, I don't think you can go wrong with these. I know that a lot of people were having issues with their Caliburn Gs, being too hot. Uh, I've heard that they burn people's mouths. Again, it's still not something I've seen happen. I even had the 1 ohm coil in the Caliburn G for a little while, and it didn't heat up like that. Um, my advice might be that your vaping style might just be a bit too much for that. Give your coil time to cool down, like really. That's where having maybe a second device could really help. Like, so having the Caliburn G and then having the KOKO Prime, and like you start to notice that one of them's getting hot. Well, all right, I'm just gonna switch over, right? Um, so that's my advice with you with that. The other thing is in the leaks, like the leaks for these prime coil, or I'm sorry, for the Caliburn G coils, um, zero condensation. I was expecting there to be condensation on the G coils inside the KOKO Prime. KOKO Prime is a 15-watt device. These coils are rated for up to 18 watts. So if you vape a coil a little bit too low in wattage, right, there's a good chance that you're not going to essentially vaporize and inhale all of the juice that you're burning, and it's going to kind of fall. And in this case, what happens is it gets stuck here in this tip, right? And actually, this tip's pretty good, you know? Um, and then that eventually just kind of falls down and leaks out, through the air intake, right? The air holes in the device. And, it can cause something that looks like leaking, right? But yeah, I haven't had that problem. And the fresh pods that I put in, they're still they're still working after a week. Um, I I mean, unfortunately, I'm just not seeing it. I think again, and I said this in other videos, don't extend the life of your coils beyond, I don't know, maybe like 10 to possibly 14 days with these. Really, you'll know when it's time to change the coil, and it's not just burnt hits or anything like that. The easiest way to tell is I just took in the vapor and nothing came out, or less came out, right? um Man, I can't taste my juice, change your coil, right? Pretty simple. um don't be stubborn about it, just change it. And you know it's the best thing to do, like, to keep you cigarette free. And uh I'm guilty of doing it too. Like, I've extended some of these coils longer than I should have because I was being stubborn, or I wanted to test some things for you guys. I wanted to see if I could reclaim the coils by soaking them and trying to clean them out. No, forget it. Not worth it. Just buy new coils. They're not that Coils aren't that hard to find. Oh, and with that said, I did have a couple more of the drip tips break. Um, but they were old drip tips. So it's looking like drip tips about 3 weeks, somewhere around there, or rather the mouthpiece. So around 3 weeks lifespan for these, at least with my usage. Could last you longer, or if you check my comment sections, you'll see like some people just busted these things off like in a day or two, right? It really just depends. One thing I will mention is I did give Liz the like the KOKO and the Caliburn G coil to try out. And like, her first time trying to refill the pod, she couldn't. She was like having a difficult time uh, doing it. There's something really just anxiety, whatever. I don't know what it is, but about the idea of just going right. I mean, something's got to break, and they do, right? But again, they're not that expensive. Okay. Um, the replacement pods are cheaper than the coils. So anyway, with that said, guys, thank you very much. This is my check-in of the Caliburn G coils and the KOKO Prime. Still going strong. Still highly recommend this. This is the best pod system of the year, right? At least to the ones I've tried. Okay, got some more in the pipeline. I got a couple reviews that I'm going to be doing. Uh, if my devices get here this weekend, and I actually have a really special one coming that's going to review the Evolve Reflex. And the reason it's special is um, it got me kind of talking about the baby and the reason that I quit smoking and when we lost our other baby, um, and all that. And Evolve claims that they have solved the cigarette, or at least they are trying to solve the problem with the cigarette. And they have this device called uh, the Reflex that's out now. Um, if you check YouTube, check out Daniel's channel. Um, he did an interview. I actually talked to the owner of Evolve, Brandon, as well. And when I do review that device, he also said I didn't have to review it. But when I do, um, you know, I'll talk more about that. But unbelievable person, unbelievable company. They invented half of this stuff, like variable wattage, temperature control, even like vape batteries as we know them, right? Um, with their and they're still very active in high end mods and stuff with the DNA chipsets, right? Um, but anyway, I'll be updating throughout the weekend all of the other devices I have and doing coil life checks. If you like the video, or at least if you could stand to watch me, like and subscribe. I've been getting some mean comments lately saying my juice looks like liquid poop, but he apologized. He apologized for that. And then yesterday saying that I talk too slow. You know what? I think I just talked too much.